That's now 2 highway robberies in a month. Howie Roseman, you better find yourself a good little lawyer there. Jeremy Burton is here. I'm Adrian Fedque. Hey, Sam Bradford is now a Viking. We're getting Carson Wentz from the beginning, as long as he's healthy. I'm ecstatic. This is unfucking believable.
Oh, I mean, highway robbery is putting it mildly. How do you not take this deal? I mean, thank you. It was a sad situation. Ambulance came for Teddy Bridgewater. Apparently, it was a very gruesome injury. But best wishes in your recovery. But thank you for the first-round pick. Thanks to Teddy's knee. I mean, this was a no-brainer. Howie, I mean, made some great moves this offseason. As far as trades go, I mean, he's got an A+ in my book as far as trades. We just got to fine-tune his drafting skills maybe a little bit. But, no, I mean, it's exciting. We'll see Carson from week 1 as long as his ribs are healed up. You know, I think he's mentally ready. He's a smart guy. He's ready to, learn on the fly. You know, there's going to be growing pains as a rookie. But, if he starts the year as a starter, I mean, by week 8, he's going to be a better quarterback. He's going to learn. And, I'm just excited.
Yeah, man. To not only get a first-round pick, he got a 4th, too. Like what? God, so the Vikings are clearly desperate. I mean, I can somewhat understand where they're coming from because their window with Adrian Peterson, it's closing. He's on the wrong side of 30. And you got a great defense there. That defensive line is stud. You got Everson Griffin. You got Sharif Floyd. You got Linval Joseph. Anthony Barr is a stud. Xavier Rhodes is a stud. Harrison Smith is a stud. So their defense is very, very good. And now you got a quarterback now. They can, I don't know, not that I'm the biggest Sam Bradford fan in the world, but that's better than Sean Hill. So this is a Vikings team that's still pretty formidable. They can win 10, 11 games, definitely make the postseason. So Super Bowl, probably not. We wouldn't get that second-round pick. But hey, they're a playoff team possibly, and I can see why they made this deal. But back to Howie Roseman. I'll tell you what. Luck has presented itself many, many opportunities this summer. So he gets away with this deal. You had the DGB thing. So we've gotten some opportunities and taken advantage of stupidity. The Dolphins took our trash. They're like, hey, Byron Maxwell, Kiko, you want him? Oh, sure. Move up 5 spots in the draft. Thanks a lot. And then what was the other one? DeMarco Murray. I would have straight up cut that motherfucker. Got a pick for him too. So, hey, Howie Roseman, he's been working the trades. But my thing with him, and it will always be, his drafting ability. This offseason has highlighted his strengths. He can maneuver around the cap. He's really, really good at that. He's really, really good at making trades. This is what he's known for. But over the next couple years, when he's got to draft and build this team, build around Carson Wentz, we'll see if those weaknesses continue to show. But right now, hey, he's had himself a good offseason. I'll give him a smidgen of credit. But still, I don't trust the motherfucker in the draft.
Yeah, he said in his press conference yesterday, he's looking to build something great. And these are getting back future assets. We gave up a first-round pick next year to move up to get Wentz, and now we got it back. It's not going to be as high of a pick potentially because we figure Vikings will finish higher, and we'll pick later in the first round. But you still get around number 20 in the first round. Still, first-round pick is very valuable. And you're right. It's just about how he capitalizing on these early draft picks. You really gotta hit on them, or else it could all go to shit, all this plan. But at least, we have a plan. Howie has a plan. This is something that Chip didn't have. He flew by the seat of his pants. He didn't, Chip didn't have a plan. It was a disaster. But, Howie's building for something great. We just hope that, that Carson's ready. And maybe, it's happened before. There's been rookies that go to the playoff, quarterbacks. I mean, I'm not saying he's Andrew Luck, Russell Wilson, RG3, these are guys in 2012. You surround him with a great defense. Even if he makes some rookie mistakes, has a turnover, our defense will hopefully stop the opposing offense to just a field goal or a punt and get right back out there and learn from your mistake. Like, this is what he's going to have to do. Luckily, we got Jim Schwartz on defense and David Phipp on special teams. These are going to be keys. I think we're going to be a big-time running team. Carson can manage the offense and play defense. That's what we got to do. And maybe we can be successful with it. We'll see. Open expectations this year.
Well, I'm ecstatic because, honestly, I really don't think there's that much of a drop-off from Sam Bradford to Carson Wentz. So, sure, there's a drop-off, and you're going to have the rookie quarterback in there. But I've been saying all offseason, I don't give a fuck that Sam Bradford's a veteran. I want Carson Wentz in there from the beginning. And we have seen, like Jeremy has stated, rookie quarterbacks can come in there and go to the playoffs. Mark Sanchez, Joe Flacco, Matt Ryan, name a couple other guys as well. So, this isn't a new kind of story, and we have a defense that can potentially be good enough to maybe go 8-8, maybe win the NFC East. I've got this team going 6-10, but that doesn't matter right now. So we're going to get Carson Wentz in there, hopefully, as long as he's healed next Sunday against the Browns, and I'm fucking thrilled. I think the more reps he gets, the better off it is. Doug had this old school type of mentality where he wanted to redshirt him, but teams just don't do that anymore. They just don't. You throw them out there right away, and even last year, Marcus Mariota, Jameis Winston, they came in right away, and they were successful. So you can do that now with these quarterbacks. And the perfect quote that Howie Roseman said yesterday was, "In terms of balancing today and the future, it was the right move for us," and it was. I mean, you got your first rounder back. That's basically what happened. That you traded for Carson Wentz, except it's not like going to be like a top 15, top 20 first rounder. It's basically like almost like moving back a little bit in the draft. But, at least those jokes that Philly doesn't have a first round pick for their draft, at least those can stop. So fuck you, Cowboys fans.
Oh, man, I hope we can get some tickets to go to the draft next year now.
Oh, that's definitely happening. I will definitely be there.
I'll be there. I can't wait. That's exciting. With this trade, I mean, it was a win-win for both teams, really. I mean, Vikings were absolutely desperate. Bradford comes in, and Norv Turner, offensive coordinator. He's quarterback friendly. I think he'll fit their system just fine. As be a stopgap guy, and depend. How gruesome this injury was. Teddy's rehab could go into the 2017-18 season. It could go into the following year. Bradford has this 2-year deal. The one thing, kind of we had to eat $11 million of that signing bonus to Bradford. The 24 is now on the Vikings, but
that's Jeffrey's. That's Jeffrey. I don't care. He's the one that's got the money. Who cares?
Out of his pocket. Yeah, it's fine. We're not nothing out of my money, but like I said, win-win for both teams. I'm just excited to see the kid out there, man. Let him develop. It's the old school way of thinking. You got to take your lumps as a rookie. He's really smart. He just got to adjust to the speed of the game. He was playing at the FCS level. Now he's going right into, week one, Ray Orton's defense, and all these defensive coordinators planning. They're going to be coming after Carson. Like, hey kid, welcome to the NFL. He's going to get one of those pops where he's going to get nailed. In that preseason game, he did kind of take a hit and do a little tumble, but there's going to be more hits to come, and he's just got to take his licks. He's a strong, tough, smart kid. He's got the prototypical build we need as a quarterback. I can't wait to see him start slinging and him getting the chemistry with Ernst and DDB and Matthews. Bring it on. I'm pumped.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. The Vikings were definitely desperate. It's like that chick you hit up at 3:00 in the morning. You're drunk as fuck, and hey, you want some tail? Doesn't matter. She's that type of girl. You kind of give her the boot before everyone else can see her. So that's the desperation that the Vikings were in right now. I mean, Sean Hill, are you kidding me? So they get Sam Bradford now, and it's funny because I was talking to Nick Picode of Philly Influencer, and he was listening to some talk radio in Minnesota, and Minnesota is ecstatic. They are happy. They are all about this trade, and clearly they're falling into the same trap that Philadelphia did last preseason.
Yeah, I mean, this is a guy, Sam Bradford, that they're getting. Yeah, he can run an offense and be a game manager. He's shown that if he has a pocket, he can be accurate, put the ball where he needs to. But he's going to also take his licks, and he's played, I think, one full season, and that was back in 2010, his rookie year. I mean, this guy's going to miss games, and they're going to have to use Sean Hill. And, I mean, that's just a disaster. They'll stack the box, and AP won't, be less effective if they just go with the run because Sean Hill can't throw the ball. So, they're banking on Bradford playing 16 games. Can he do it? Maybe. I mean, this is his healthiest offseason yet. But, yeah, I'll never forget last preseason, third game, the 10 for 10, 3 touchdowns. Bradford's the king of preseason. So, doesn't mean anything.
He's a first ballot preseason Hall of Fame. Unanimous. He's unbelievable. Shit, man. And hey, let's talk about this a little bit because, all right, so you had to pull the trigger on this trade because if Bradford killed it this year, the best compensation you would have gotten was what, maybe a second round pick. Most likely, you're looking at a third or a fourth. So the fact that they got so desperate, Minnesota got so desperate, you got that first round pick. It's unbelievable that you can get that. So obviously, you have to pull the trigger. And the other thing to keep in mind is that cap hit for next year, it's $22.5 million. So all of a sudden, that's some more money to spend in free agency, and you can fix some holes. So, I mean, this is unbelievable. This is Christmas. Wow. I'm just stunned. I didn't think there was any shot that the Eagles could get a first round pick out of this. I didn't.
No, even at this point, I agree. I was like, team like the Vikings are desperate. Maybe they'll give us a second.
Yeah.
And here I see on my phone go off first round pick next year and a fourth round pick in 2018, which could be a second if they win the Super Bowl or go to the NFC Championship game, becomes a third, which they'd have to get lucky to go to the NFC Championship game and it'll go to a third. I don't think they'll get much any further than that, but still, you're getting an additional pick in 2018, which is huge. We can use that, to move up in the future in the draft if we want to, or just take the pick and use it. It's just, collecting assets the Sam Hinkie way, and you want to build something great here. So, I'm just excited about our future, and just excited to see this kid out there. I mean, I just hope we don't see any Chase Daniel. I just don't want Carson to get hurt. Chase is pathetically awful, and he's like 5'9". So
He's 5'9". Chase Daniel fucking sucks.
What's funny? You see him standing there next to Frank Reich and Carson Wentz, and it's like he's a shrimp. He's literally, I think he's like 5'10". It's a joke. He shouldn't. He makes bad decisions. He had a couple throws in a row in that fourth preseason game that went to DGB, and that went well. But then he just makes it. He'll lock in on one receiver and just throw a pick. I mean, no. Chase Daniel, no.
He can dink and dunk his way down the field, and then he makes the mistake. That's what happened on, that fourth preseason game. So, all right, moving on to some other Eagles news. I am saddened by the Paul Turner news. This is awful. This is, he had a tweet yesterday. This is where it really tugs the fucking heartstrings. He had a tweet about, he's like, I'm so grateful about being able to make this team, and then a day later your dreams just shattered. Now I would think that somebody else is going to pick him up. He's been too fucking good, but man, and it's like you're going to replace him with a guy that Chip Kelly cut.
Yeah, Bryce Treggs, was it that we brought in? Yeah,
a speedster.
This Paul Turner, he showed what he can do on special teams, caught every ball thrown to him. And this is like a great character kid. You can see him quoting God bless him and the Lord and the Bible and all this. And looking into his history, he was at LSU, okay, behind Odell Beckham Jr. and Jarvis Landry. He had a sick family member or something. For some reason, he had to transfer out due to a family illness, and that's why he was at LA Tech. So, I mean, to get this opportunity to go undrafted and get your dreams shattered, I just feel for the kid. I don't think he's going to clear waivers. I mean, I want him on our practice squad, but I just don't don't think he's going to clear.
It's dude, and not even just hit. They also waived C.J. Smith today, so that's like another one. Like, just we love our underdog stories in Philadelphia, and man, but the Turner one, that's difficult. He led the preseason in receptions. I get the preseason means nothing, but he literally did not drop a ball, and you cannot say that about anybody else. So now I know people are saying, why is Nelson Aguilar on the team? Not only is it because he's a first-round pick, but look at the cap hit. You can't cut him, so that's why he's still on the team. But oh my God, this is heartbreaking. I was fucking enamored by Turner and the way he played. Like, if every other year he's not going to make this team, but this year this was like the chance because our receiving depth is very, very poor. And
what did you see? What did you see in a guy from Tregs? I mean, I didn't even see him in the preseason.
Dude, I'm gonna have to watch him. I don't know who he is. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I mean,
he's apparently a speed guy, and yeah, like, we kind of don't have a speed guy. But fuck, man,
Turner's quick, but you know what? He was a little on the undersized. He was like 5'10". I don't know. He's standing up there next to Chase Daniel. They're even in height, but maybe that was it. I don't know. I just hope this kid doesn't just be a diamond in the rough that we missed out on. I mean, the one thing we knock Howie on is drafting ability, scout, like, talent evaluation. This is where that goes. If you think he's worthy to cut him loose for this guy Tregs, hope it doesn't come back to bite us. But we brought in Joe Douglas, from a great organization like the Ravens, and that's how we had the connection with the defensive back we picked up.
Terrence Brooks.
What's his name? Brooks. Yeah, picked up a defensive back and cut. Obviously, we got another Brooks on our team, and that's for like the sixth corner spot, or he also can play some safety. So C.J. Smith, I didn't think we would keep six corners anyway. C.J. Smith got the boot.
Yeah, and they also picked up a linebacker today. Camus Grugier Hill. I'm not going to try to pronounce that name, but obviously yesterday they only kept 4 linebackers, so you had to pick up somebody. I could see this coming from a mile away because I didn't think Mike Tavares or Quentin Gauss were good enough to be on this team. I was surprised that Nagi Good got cut, but hey, they pick up their linebacker today. That's kind of, you could see that coming.
Yeah, Nagi was the one surprise I had with the roster cuts, really. He's been on the team for a handful of years, special teams guy, and then he was always like our 5th kind of linebacker, 4th or 5th linebacker. So that was a surprise. But this guy Hill, apparently he's a special teams guy as well, specialist. He's only 22 years old, and he was a rookie pick from the Patriots. So organization like the Patriots obviously saw something in him, but then cut him. Maybe we can capitalize on that, and he'll still, fill in that special teams role.
Yeah, and the Patriots, they got a bunch of linebackers. They're deep defensively. So he was a 6th-round pick out of Eastern Illinois. That's probably better than Quentin Gauss and Mike Tavares, which, again, these guys were undrafted. Gauss had himself a pretty solid preseason, but, I don't think he's an NFL type of player. I just don't, as good as he was. So, yeah, that's about it. Any other thoughts on the cuts before we get to final thoughts?
Surprised one of them is Lane Johnson, but we kept 11 offensive linemen. That's a pretty big number. We assume Lane is going to get suspended, and that'll free up a roster spot. We'll see. Maybe Nagi Good comes back on the team, and then we'll have 6 linebackers. So, really no other big surprises. I thought Ed Reynolds was a decent special teams player, but obviously didn't make the cut. I mean, I like Jalen Watkins. He, played well and got himself that backup safety spot, along with obviously Maragos is our special teams ace, and kept my ponytail boy Brayman, so I'm happy about that.
Dylan Gordon. Yeah, I'm curious to see what because like Chris Pantelli, I don't know how to pronounce his name either. But
tight end, the 4th tight end, yeah.
Yeah, he was the one playing some fullback during preseason, and I'm curious to see if maybe Dylan Gordon plays some fullback. Like he's a tight end that's trying to become an offensive lineman. So See what they kind of do with him, because they didn't really keep a traditional fullback on this roster, and I have pointed that out too. The Kansas City games that I've watched, yeah, they've played some I formation, but maybe not as much as you might think. This is more of a kind of West Coast type of spreadish type of team, so it's not really like old school West Coast offense. It's like a hybrid type of system, and I've been liking what I've been seeing with all the different looks that Doug Peterson presents on offense. So a lot of different types of formations. It's a complex type of offense, and it's a good system, I think.
Yeah, I'm excited. I think it's a good system for Carson to start in, and hopefully takes off and runs with it. He's got something that Sam Bradford didn't have. He can make plays with his legs. He's more athletic. He's bigger, stronger. So I don't see much of a drop off with Bradford to Carson, and we save that $22 million next year. And I mean, this is a robbery. Howie Roseman should be guilty of a felony. 2 robberies in a month. Dennis Kelly for DGB, and basically gift wrap the first round and a 4th round pick for Bradford. I mean, I'm ecstatic. We're a week from right now. Hopefully, we're 1-0.
Hey, it's all right. I'll post his bail for him. That's all right. Let's get him out of jail. But yeah, all right. I guess we'll get to final thoughts time. Anything else you want to add?
Not really, man. Just a week till the Birds. I'm so pumped.
You know what I'm disappointed in? The fucking Temple Owls. Lost.
Done against Army. That's
Army.
PJ Walker did horrible.
Oh.
That's why you're not tilting your hat down enough to see the T. And now you can see the T. There's the T. You can't see it. Yeah, man, that was a rough game.
Fucking team right here.
It was because PJ wanted to be called Phillip now.
Yeah, he wants to be. Yeah, you don't change the name Phillip. That's like a kicker named Caleb.
That was a bad showing. I mean, that was a rough game. We just we weren't even in it at all.
I was like waiting for them to turn it on, and it never happened.
Never happened.
Pathetic. But yeah. All right, that's it for this one. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Let us know in the comment section below. I would assume that you guys like to trade, but hey, if you didn't, if you're like EDP thinks we're going 1-15, let us know. That being said, Jeremy Burton, I'm Adrian Bedgue. Honestly, it doesn't even fucking matter what we go this year. It's about next year and a Super Bowl. Down the road, maybe. We'll see.
Building something great.
Building something great. That's what Howie said, not me. This is how we do it. We're out. Peace.
Later.